Welcome, everybody. My name is Steve Buck, and this is my good friend, Gabie. I'm your host for Living the Dream podcast. Just a little introduction for myself and Gabie. I'm a general contractor, and I'm a real estate developer. And so I'm going to be bringing things across from an executive type of position. And we're going to be drawing on Gabie's life experience as we walk through what it takes to live the dream. And specifically, we're focusing on helping young African-American men enter the world of living the American dream. And that's our target audience. Now, obviously, what we're going to be talking about and discussing will work for anybody. It'll work if you're Hispanic or if you're Asian or if you're
European.
Right? It'll work for everybody. Okay. But the reason that we're focusing our podcast on young African-American men is because of the fact that that group of that demographic has been lied to for probably 5 or 6 decades about who they are and who they're supposed to be in society. So that's our focus group. But hey, we welcome everybody to the podcast, and what we're about to teach is gonna help everybody. Just a little bit of house cleaning. Our email for our podcast is dream with 3 M's 1776 @gmail.com, and that's going to be the best way to contact us if you want to participate in the show, if you want to ask questions, because what we're going to do is we're going to open the floor up to questions as we continue to cut our different podcasts. And so what we'll do is we will call you from our studio phone so that we can bring you in for, questions or discussion in the podcast. So, Gabie, obviously everybody has a different opinion about what it means to them to live the American dream. I'm going to have you start before me. And could you just define for our audience what does it look like, or what would it mean to you if you felt that you were engaged and you were living the American dream?
I would feel lost. Well, basically, as already stated, the demographic and things are not set up for you to win. So you have to be a person that is creative, an open-minded person, a person that is willing to go and do things that the average person is not. So you can do that. The restrictions are in abundance, information, schooling, all those different things that you would need to know in order to be successful. So my personal experience is I went into the military. I came up in a lower income housing in bad area. And so I had to not follow the rest of the fish up the pond, so to speak. So in order to do that, it came through, some of the people I hung out with, sports. I had people who were father figures because I didn't have a father in the house. Mm-hmm. So those things helped me a lot with being able to experience different things that the average person wasn't.
So the American dream really speaks about enjoying some type of abundance. Specifically to you, what type of things would you like to see come into your life in abundance, basically to make life better?
Less restrictions, more openness towards, opportunities and things of that nature that are not common to the average person who may be lazy and don't want them. Those that do want them should be able to indulge and take advantage of these situations and opportunities, which, in most cases you have to be in a certain circle in order to get this information, i.e., college fraternities and things of that nature, certain clubs where these systems of being successful are kept in close proximity of only those who are involved. So I would like to be able to create also other opportunities and situations that others can also look at as a different option than what they may be given in general.
Yeah, and so again, the definite everybody's definition of living the American dream is a little bit different. My idea of living the American dream was, I always wanted to have, I like driving nice vehicles. The typical, American, I love my cars. I love my trucks. Okay. So that's one of the things that I like. The good food. I love good food. I love good steaks. I love enjoying the finer things in life.
Yes.
Which is, food, entertainment, our vehicles, how we travel. To me, that's how I defined what living the American dream was for me. I want to enjoy the nicer things in life, and the system for the African American young man is designed to fully suppress him so that he never ever gets that vision for himself that
Right.
that he can enjoy the finer things in life that I think most people would enjoy.
Right.
So if we define our overall mission statement, that's basically what it is. Our mission statement is to help young African American men, first of all, create a vision in their own heart where they want to live the American dream. And then number two, the second part is teach them how to get there, because nobody's done it.
Yes.
And so, that's our mission. That's our mission statement. And so the next thing I think that we should kind of roll into is that everything in life is a process, right? So when you go get your driver's license, that's a process. When you go to apply for a job, that's a process. When you go to do your job, that's a process. And so getting to put yourself in a position where you can live the American dream, that's going to be a process as well.
It's a trendy term, trust the process.
Exactly. And we're all subject to processes. So I want everybody to understand that, I had to go through the process to live the American dream.
Right.
Everybody before me who lives the American dream, they had to go through it.
Right.
The next thing is implementation. A lot of people they simply do not know how to implement anything successful in their life,
Right.
just because of the fact that
Been going through the wrong stuff all their life.
right, and they don't know how to implement. So we're gonna be talking at length about the implementation steps necessary to get there. And so that's kind of the third component of what we're talking about. The next one is participation. This is a voluntary gig. You do not have to participate in living the American dream, right?
Right.
You can sit on the sidelines your entire life and not participate in enjoying the finer things in life. So, that's a personal choice.
If you want to participate, that's what I was taught. Just raise your hand.
right, yeah, and whether we want to participate or not is said. Do you want to live the American dream or not? But you do not have to want to live the American dream. That's not mandatory. Okay, it's a blessing, but you can choose. You can choose not to. I chose. I wanted to live the American dream, and I'm living the American dream. Okay. But I had to self-determine that I was going to participate in living the dream.
Right.
And the next thing is the expansion of living the American dream. The great thing about what we're talking about is in a very short period of time, the way that the world operates is going to change drastically, like literally from being very difficult to being very easy. And I'm not going to expand on those details right now, but trust me when I tell you that the world is going to be changing in a huge way. We're about to see a biblical event come down, which is going to change life on earth for everybody, not just Americans. This is for life on earth for everybody. But again, we'll get into that later on. Partners, as we go down through this process, we're going to be looking for partners to participate with us. And what I mean by partners, there's several different levels. Number one is people who have the financial ability to help us put resources, that's right, money, to put resources in the hands of young African-American men. And so, like, for instance, Gabie has with him his
MacBook Pro.
The MacBook Pro. And what do you got? You got to have an iPhone then, right?
I got 2 apples. They said apple a day keep the doctor away. I got 2 apples.
Okay. So he's got his Apple iPhone. paired in with his Apple book. And so resources like that will help everybody who's participating in what we're going to be doing, so that they can come up with a robust email communication system. Communication is one of the key things that helps people be successful. So we're going to be looking for partners to help provide resources to people. We're going to be looking for partners who can participate on our knowledge campuses, where we're going to be putting together knowledge campuses in bigger metropolitan areas where we'll have resources, we'll have the hardware and the software to be able to help teach young men. We'll have space. We're going to need space and furnishings and all that stuff. And we're going to need teachers. We're going to need people to actually give of their time and their effort to participate in remaking these young men's lives. Because as you and I both know, the educational system has completely failed the African American community. Yes. We're here in Utica, New York. You're from Buffalo. I think in the Utica City School District, I want to say I had a figure of around 92% of the graduates out of the Utica School District have a reading level of 5th grade and a math level of 7th. Are
you smarter than a 5th grader?
The big thing is that, we may need to re-educate these young men because of the fact that they didn't get the education that they deserved, because the system that's designed to keep them suppressed did a great job at keeping them suppressed.
Yes.
And keeping them, dumbed down for better.
Still in continuance.
Right. So let's get into that. We're going to be a knowledge hub for these young men. And, what does the Word of God say about a lack of knowledge?
I forgot. You tell me.
My people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Yes,
so if you want to know one of the biggest reasons on where you're at in life, if you're struggling, I can guarantee you the first thing is going to be a lack of knowledge, because that's how the devil keeps good people down, is he keeps them from the ability to gain knowledge. Because the more knowledge that you gain, the better off you're going to be, the more you're going to know about who you're supposed to be.
Right.
The next thing I kind of want to dive into is different types of training. At these knowledge campuses that we're going to be building, and again, this is something that's probably going to take 3 to 5 years to get these things built out. But we're talking about training. It could be something, training,
life
these young
skills
men.
And different things of that nature.
Well, how to get a checking account? How do you get a checking account?
How you get a trust?
how do you get a trust? How do you, how do you do the basic things in life? We're going to electronic banking, so it'll be good to start off with a paper checking account, but very soon everybody's going to have to go into the digital world, because we're going to have digital currencies. And again,
a lot of people paperless now.
That's right. And that's where a MacBook and a smartphone or
a mobile office.
There you go. So we're also looking for people who can help coach people and just the very basic things that maybe a lot of people take for granted. Okay, things that I take for granted that I just learned them in school, and
right.
or by watching other people. These young men have not seen that. They haven't been taught it. So, we're going to need partners, and we're going to need people to help train in just basically life skills, right? That you and I were talking about earlier. So, any partners, any people that want to get involved, who want to be ready for when we have the resources, when we have the space, when we start building this whole thing out. Again, our email, dream with 3 M's, 1776 @gmail.com. Please email us if you want to get involved, if you think that you can help. We're gonna need a ton of help. And the other thing about this podcast, it's going to be maybe a little unique, is the fact that you and I, our studio's mobile, so we're going to be able to go out and visit with people who are participating with our podcast, with our program, and we're going to be visiting places, hopefully once a month. Go out and we want to talk to the people who are participating in living the dream, so that we can see what's working, what's not working, so that anything that we can do to improve these knowledge campuses and these training places. We're going to go out and see what's happening. Another thing that you and I had discussed in our practice run for launching the podcast was this idea of discipline, and just give our viewers an idea of how your military training, the discipline that you received in the military, how that helped you, because discipline in living the American dream, that's going to be one of the components that we need to look at.
Right. So me coming up in a home fatherless, and streets is just everywhere. The good stuff, the bad stuff, as they say, the man upstairs, give you the right to make the decision. So if you make the right decision, then obviously you get blessed, different things like that. It is actually real. I've learned it myself. When I've done wrong, I didn't get good. When I did good, I got good, meaning that I received good, meaning that even if you are treated wrong and, you stand your ground on the right part of what was done, you will get blessed. It might not be initially, you might not know when or whatever, but it'll happen. The discipline that I learned in the military was something that I didn't learn at home. I mean, I learned discipline at home, got my butt whooped a lot, stuff like that. But when we talk about mental discipline, and like Mike Tyson said, I don't quote me on the words, but he basically said that if you are able to do something that you don't like and make it look like you like it, then that's discipline. Doing something that you don't like and making it look like you like it. Accomplishing it in a way that people wouldn't imagine. Oh, you don't really like that? You're not. Yeah. And so
the sergeants with that discipline, they make you focus, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's kind of a control and manipulation thing. But yeah, you're kind of binded by law to listen, or you get in trouble. But but that is kind of
it helps you focus, though, right?
Right. So the whole thing is they put you through it because they know that you're probably not used to it. So the discipline part of it is to be able to overcome it and say, oh, this is just a test. If you look at it as just a test and you're good with tests, then hey, you're gonna be good. Some people are not good with tests. So, I just happen to be a left fielder, so I learned how to take tests a little differently.
Well, life is full of tests, and in the process that we engage in to live the American dream, you get tested all the time, and so that's going to be part of the process. So that pretty much wraps up our introduction of Living the Dream podcast. Again, I just want to reiterate one more time, dream1776@gmail.com, dream with 3 M's. Okay, please reach out and contact us if you have questions you want to ask, or if you want us to call you. Once we get into our further episodes, we can call you in. We want to bring in some live questions in our future episodes. So Gabie and I would just like to thank you for joining us, and we will see you again soon.